is the Big O Show. This 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 is
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX for $419 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
It's the Big O Show with Orlando
Friday. You made it, baby. It's the weekend. Although soon we may not have as weekends. We'll be working also on the weekends. But anyway, welcome back. Friday morning here at Acura of Pembroke Pines. The amazing Sean Stanley by my side. We'll have some fun today. Manny Navarro will visit us. We'll talk to David Ferronis also on the back end of the show. Love it, love it, love it. Lots of things to talk about today. Obviously, we'll talk plenty Dolphins, plenty of other things. As always, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Very important to smash the hell out of the like button and get the algorithms going already. So we're already 2-1 right now. 40 right there watching right now, only 19 likes. Let's go. Let's pick it up. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Anyway, we've got all kinds of stuff going on. I guess we should address the Christian Wilkins stuff because I know the silliness starts with Dolphin fans already. Like here, is Greer on the phone with Wilkins' agent? No. Why would you bring Wilkins in? You just drafted a young man. First round, was he? Was he first round?
Chop was first round.
No. I'm talking about D tackle.
Oh. Yeah, Walker. Yeah.
The Grant kid is
Grant. I'm sorry. It's Kenneth Walker.
Right.
Grant.
And then you drafted another kid in the 5th round.
Yes.
Okay, so you made an investment in young people next to Sieler, and you made a huge investment. So you're going to bring Christian Wilkins in to play over them or over your ends? Now, could I see Christian Wilkins coming back next year, like on a free agent deal or something as an extra defensive tackle, a rotational guy? Yeah, I could see that. But I could also see him trying to find a job where he's going to get starting time. Do you guys realize they just drafted a guy, right, in the 1st round? Do you ever, do the math out there, guys? I'm just wondering. Do you do the math? So, I don't think you'll do Wilkins now. Plus, he's coming back from a Jones fracture. And apparently, he may have needed another surgery. Look, the cheap Raiders, everything going on with this is dirty. And the Raiders are a cheap-ass organization. If they would have drafted Wilkins and then they gave him that extension, they might have hung on for a year extra to give him time to come back or whatever, but they weren't willing. You saw a video a couple days ago where he's dancing with his teammate in the locker room, and he's like bending down, and I was looking at his feet, and they're bending all over the place. I'm like, okay, so what's wrong with his feet or something, The Raiders are a terrible organization. They're notoriously cheap. If they can get out of money, they've done it with coaches, with players, and it's rich in their history of being cheap and trying to get out of contracts. The son learned from the father, okay? So that's a lot of dirtiness that's going on. But as for the Dolphins, okay, why would they bring him on at this point? Why? Because of your nostalgia? Is that all it is? Your nostalgia to bring back Wilkins? Great guy. But for what you're doing this year, he's a progress stopper. You've got to move on. And if Christian Wilkins can get playing time, he's going to go somewhere where he's actually going to play. Here, you don't want to play him because then you're not playing the young guys that you invested in. And then if you play Christian Wilkins and then Grant doesn't play as much, then you start ripping them for drafting Grant. Because that's what the media will do. And we'll get to the media in a minute. And so, that's what they'll do. They like to play both sides of it, bro. Come on. That's what some of the folks in the media love to do. Oh, I can't create controversy. Let me try to create controversy there. Let me put doubt here, even though there's no doubt. We'll talk about that. I mean, it's just no Wilkins this year. I can't see them doing it. Plus, you see them spending money. They're barely under the cap. They don't have money to give to Sieler for an extension. They have to wait till later on in the year probably to open up space when they get rid of either Chubb, Tyreek, or both. And then you want them also to bring Wilkins. All it is just fan nostalgia and novelty. It makes no football sense right now because you have moved on from Wilkins. You drafted his replacement. You didn't do it last year, but you did it this year. Last year you had Calais Campbell, who could take his place, and it worked out well. Okay? And then Hand, right, was the other guy that was helping out, right? He was pretty good, actually. It's pretty good. He did all right. This year, you've made an investment. It's time for you all to move on. Okay? Let's leave the nostalgia behind. Let's think logically. That's what we do here on the show. We assess it. Now, could he be brought back next year? Sure. Maybe. Rotational guy. He made a lot of money, but they can't pay him. So if he wants to get paid decent salary, even though he's already made a killing, making $50 million in just a year, really, because he made 29.2 last year, and he's already made 20 million this year because he made a roster bonus in March, obviously. And they thought he was recovering then, because if not, you don't give him the roster bonus, right? You try to fight it from there, but I don't know. I don't know the particulars on the contract, so whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say also, I think the Raiders want him to get surgery, but he doesn't want to get surgery.
Well, that's probably the hook that they use to get out of it. Because maybe he doesn't need the surgery. Maybe he had his own surgeon look at it and say, no, you're good. You just got to rehab it the right way and you'll be fine. Not another surgery. And then that's where the cheap-ass Raiders use that as a loophole.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like with the March bonus, though. If they knew he had needed surgery then, why wouldn't you have done it then? You cost yourself $20 million.
Right, right. Because they're a stupid organization. It's the Raiders. You know what I mean? So let's end that already, okay, with the silliness with Christian Wilkins and bring him in and all that. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's a progress stopper, okay? You invested in a first and a fifth rounder and 2 tackles. You need to get those kids playing. You've made a youth movement. Now you want to revert. If anything, you would have just re-signed Calais Campbell. And you don't have the money on top of all of that. So you're going to start reworking deals to re-sign an injured player? That doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. None of it makes any sense. Next year, could that happen? For rotation purposes and depth and all that kind of stuff? Yes. For this year, let's play a broken record. Are they trying to win? Where's the proof? I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the proof the entire offseason. All I've done is point why they're not trying to win. Do any of you kind of register any of this? So click the like button, please. Yeah, they did sign Cornell Armstrong. That should get them over the top. And a guy named Easy. Because this offseason has been about taking it easy. It's apropos. It goes exactly with our offseason. Obina, easy. In the world of sports talk, sports writing, you're going to be right and you're going to be wrong. Said the Marlins would lose 100 games. How am I doing with that? I'm wrong. No, but that streak ruins it. It's really mathematically that streak ruins it. Let's just be honest. It's over. I'm done. Yeah, can they go on to lose in the next bunch of games and get to 100? Of course they can mathematically, but I'm not. I'm a realist. I live in reality. That's done. I'm wrong. It's over. That's it, dude. That's it. I'm a Chris Greer guy. Am I right or wrong? I'm wrong, right? Hasn't worked out, right? He's not winning. Okay, but I'm wrong right now. Okay? I'm wrong. You when you're wrong, you're wrong. Period. End of. There's no gray area. Okay? No gray area. When you're right, and when you're wrong, and you have to say it. You have to say it. Joe Shad, my brother, when you're wrong, you're wrong. Okay? And you guys know me, bro. I got nothing against Joe Shad or any other riders. They're all terrific. They're all good dudes. But if you say something or you write something and I feel like calling you out, I'm going to call you out. I don't give a shit. My skin is thick as hell, dude. You know, you got something, bring it. Let's go. You want to call me out for something? Go ahead. I'm good with that. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. So Joe Shad puts out this tweet this morning, and I had to put the brakes on that bullshit. You know, and by the way, it's, you know, and I like Joe, nothing against him. This is nothing personal or anything. I do this with anybody. I don't give a shit if it's my family member. And let me see if I can, I can barely see it from there. Oh, you know what I got to do? I got to enlarge it. There we go. Now I can do it. So it goes, here we go. Yeah, now we're good. It was the right, wait, here it is. Perhaps, yeah, here we go. I can't see that. It says, perhaps, I mean, the tag might have worked. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. Read the whole thing because I can't see.
So Joe Shad says, perhaps, I mean, a tag might have worked out. We'll never know. And then you.
No, I think you got the wrong one there. You didn't get his initial tweet there. That's what it is. You don't have his initial tweet, which is what started it.
Yeah, there's like 7 back and forth.
Yes, exactly. So I had to call it out right from the. You got to get it right from the get-go.
Was it? I once thought the Dolphins should tag Christian Wilkins.
Yes, there it is. I once thought the Dolphins should tag Christian Wilkins, but perhaps Miami was right. There's no perhaps, bro. Miami was right. And by the way, there is no what's that called? Hindsight here. 0. I was never, ever for the Christian Wilkins deal. That was a stupid-ass contract that the Raiders gave him. A freaking dumb contract. Nobody pays Christian Wilkins that kind of money. You're an idiot. I would have ripped the Dolphins if they would have given him that contract. I think I'm the guy that pointed out during that year, his sacks, like 5 of his sacks came against the Jets and the Patriots or some shit like that. Like 2 of the worst offensive lines, he feasted on like half his sacks. He wasn't worth that money. He wasn't. And so when Joe Shad says, I once thought the Dolphins should tag Christian Wilkins, but perhaps Miami was, no, my man. There's no perhaps. Miami was right, and you were dead ass wrong. And he goes, but now the clear right move, typical, is to give standout Zach Sieler a fair extension at a reasonable price. Well, why won't they? Why not first come clean on the first one, and then why try to continue to stir something up when, bro, Zach Sieler's in a good place. The Dolphins pay all their people. In fact, we make fun of them because they pay everybody. You see what I'm saying here? And then that's where I had to call bullshit right away. I said, I don't think perhaps isn't any part of the equation. You were wrong and they were right. And then I put a lot of laughing emojis because it's a fucking joke, bro. Joe, I love you, bro, but have the balls. If you want to stir shit okay, be man enough to say, no, I was wrong that I wanted to tag Christian Wilkins. Because you were. Everyone that said to tag Christian Wilkins or extend, you're wrong. And not because of the injury, because he's not a pass rusher that you pay that kind of money. So you were wrong football-wise. Your opinion was wrong, Joe, and any other writer that said to tag him or extend him, you were wrong. Dead ass wrong. But you got to be a man and say, I was wrong. Okay? You don't want to admit that? That's fine. But now after the injury, you're not only wrong, you would have been just as bad as ripping them for signing him. Because if they sign Christian Wilkins and he breaks down, every fan is ripping them. All the writers are ripping them. So be fair in these situations. We are in a business where you cannot call everything 100%. You are going to fail. That's life. But admit it at least, bro. No, there's no perhaps. You were wrong on the football side of it because you didn't really analyze his season. The Dolphins did, and they didn't want to pay him. I think somebody told you from the get-go they were never paying Wilkins, and it wasn't any of the local writers. Are we clear on that? So they weren't paying him because they didn't think he was that kind of pass rusher. Personally, myself, I agree. Did they screw up with Van Ginkel? Did they? Yeah. Yeah, Chris Greer and company screwed up with Van Ginkel. Did they get it right with Christian Wilkins? Oh, hell yeah, they got it right with Christian Wilkins. So let's be honest. Let's be fair. Let's not go for fucking sensationalism all the damn time. We good? We good? So, same shit, bro. We'll call your ass out here. We'll call your ass out here. Okay? Anyway. What else do we have to talk about on the show? By the way, we are here at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and, we are towards the end of the month now. So I know my man Larry Schlossberg back there and company, they are working it, and they are making the best deals out. By the way, there's a ZDX here. It's a red. Did you see that ZDX that's red there? That thing, oh my God, that car is gorgeous, bro. Gorgeous. Definitely a 2025 model, and it is. I saw it. I was like, I got to wait till 2026. But there's a part of me that was like, man, that vehicle is beautiful right now. Whew. I'm gonna have a real problem deciding which SUV I get. My ZDX. Do I get the Trailblazer? No, it's not the Trailblazer. It's the Trailblazer's the other one. It's not called that. Huh? Trail Seeker. Subaru or a Tundra. It's going to be a bitch, bro. A bitch to decide. But I'm telling you, that ZDX in there. Oh my God. I fell in love with that vehicle. Wow, that thing is beautiful. And right now, by the way, we still have even 2024 models. You can get them for $469 a month, 0% financing for 72 months. The ADX, what a beautiful sedan, $349 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. The Integra, it is one of the hottest vehicles out there. It is, I mean, they are flowing out the door, the Integra. And right now, why not? $299 a month, which is a joke. 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, my lovely wife drives that every single day. She'll be turning that in also herself. Now, I don't know what she's going to get also, but it'll be up to her. Maybe she gets a new RDX. $419 a month right now, 4.9% financing for 60 months. She does love her RDX. She tells me all the time this is her favorite car she's ever owned. Okay? She's owned several cars, and the RDX is her favorite car because she's going, by the time she turns it in, it'll be over 16 years old. It has been a rock, dude. But then again, we're talking about Acura. So come on out here. By the way, made here in America too, so you save yourself on the tariffs. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines, and our service center, Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber, will make you feel at home and comfortable. So come on out here and tell them that I sent you at Craig Zid's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, or a Chainlink donation, which we always appreciate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Many ways to support us. Hit the hell out of that like button. That's another way. And by the way, we got a nice little dip going on right now in Bitcoin, 115,400. Not bad. Not bad. This is actually the time for the newbies to get in. Not bad. Not bad. Where's the market at right now? Only up 37 points. The S&P's up 9.5. The NASDAQ is flat, right at 0. You rarely get that, dude. You know? You rarely get that. Ray, thank you for the love on Venmo. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you, my friend. He says, happy Friday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, you are amazing. I appreciate the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Brian Radke, thank you, my friend, on Cash App. Thank you, thank you. He just put happy Friday. Appreciate you immensely. Thank you, sir. And remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And you can send in your comments, questions, insults, all kinds of stuff there also at the same time. Stephen Harris is number 1. Yeah, we talked about the Hulkster yesterday, especially for Sean, obviously. He talked about the importance. And the dude was a monster for wrestling, man. No doubt, and big in a lot of your lives. For me, it's not, it was more about Thunder Lips and then a lot of the stuff after, to be quite honest, because I'm not a wrestling guy. But, yeah, there's no doubt that he was a part of Americana, a slice of Americana. When you can become a household name, which is what he was, whether you didn't have to know wrestling to know who the hell Hulk Hogan was, that is pretty amazing. Pretty freaking amazing. NorCal is in the house. 17 years ago, I started listening to the Big O Show. I'm still a blind-ass fan, but that's not your fault, Orlando. Puff give. Thank you, NorCal. Appreciate you, my brother. Much love, as always. Look forward to hanging out with you in the near future. Jeff in Long Island. He's at the LaGuardia Airport going to Sarasota. Just hit the like button. Hope I can watch on the plane. Thank you, sir. You should be getting something today or tomorrow, Jeff. Should be getting a nice little box there at your house. Dolphin Dave, Cosa Nostra, One-Eyed Jack is on vacation, so he'll watch the show later. Thank you. That's very nice of you, sir. B-Rob is in. Ray Varnicus. TJ Superman. Finn's Rule. Zach Sieler is the true definition of a team leader. Great player and great human. They'll pay him. I'm not worried about it. They'll pay him. It's just you guys now are lit up by the media. Zach Sieler is going about his business. He's playing. I'm sure they've talked to him already about this. Like, they've explained their situation, and they'll take care of it. But they're not going to mortgage the future to give him the money now. Okay? Unlike our government, that every president just prints the future. Same thing, they're not willing to do that right now. That's the part you guys got to understand. But the media, some want to stir it up and create a problem, and then it stirs you guys up. Be pissed when Zach Sieler's pissed. Don't be pissed because other people want to stir shit up because they got nothing else to write about. Okay? Is this the Jalen Ramsey situation? I'm just wondering. Just help me out there. No? Is it Jonnu Smith? No. Okay. Is it Christian Wilkins last year? By the way, did somebody tell you Christian Wilkins was creating some stink behind the scenes last year about not getting his money? I wonder who. No, 2 years ago. I'm sorry, he played last year. 2 years ago, during that season, I wonder what talk show host was telling you about Christian Wilkins raising hell behind the scenes. I mean, the video's all there. I wonder who. So if none of those situations are going on with Zach Sieler, why are you all worked up? I'm just wondering. Zach Sieler is not pissed. Why are you pissed? Why? Because you read some Omar Kelly article? Is that what happened? You read some Tim Reynolds article or something? You read a Dave Hyde article? You read Mike Florio or something? So, is that why you're pissed? Because there's no other reason why you should be pissed. Oh, it's because you keep reading the headline, and then it comes out on your phone in your update. Zach Sieler, still not. Will the Dolphins negotiate? What is it? Hold on, let me see. Let me. It's from a few days ago. Here we go. Zach Sieler deserves a raise, and his peers are watching. Will the Dolphins negotiate with Zach Sieler in good faith? So is that why you're pissed? It's interesting, isn't it? What an interesting dynamic. You're pissed because they wound you up. The media played you like a fucking fiddle. And your narrow-minded ass fell for it. You're pissed about something he's not pissed off about. You should have the same attitude. Who was the dude that said that Sieler is the perfect whatever? That's what you should have. Perfect attitude, perfect. They'll pay him. Don't worry about it. They'll pay him. But don't be pissed. What do you give a shit about, dude? Seriously. What if he gets injured? Well, okay, then if you want him to pay him and then he gets injured, then what? Right? Oh, no, they need to pay him. What about if he gets injured? Yeah, well, what about if he does get injured this year while he's waiting for the new contract? Doesn't that help the team? I'm sorry, what are you pissed about? Are you a Dolphins fan, or are you worried about somebody else's bank account that you'll never, ever experience, see, feel, touch? I'm sorry, is Zach Sieler taking you out for dinner every day or something? What are you pissed about? You're pissed that the media played you like a fiddle. They got you wound up and making you pissed for no reason at all, dude. The season's going to be tough enough, and you're worried about something that, dude, the guy's under contract. He signed that contract. He and his agent agreed to that contract. That's it. And it's pretty simple. Hey, guys, we cannot mortgage the future to give you the money now. We will give you the money because we want you here forever, but we got to wait till the end of the year when things shake out. Zach, we can't really give you the money because we had to guarantee the money for another client from your agent. Maybe if you didn't guarantee Tyreek, you could give Zach Sieler the money. Ever thought about that? But hey, Drew Rosenhaus represents both. So what are you pissed off about? Hey, Drew Rosenhaus had a bad deal with Jonnu Smith. And then now oh my God, I got to get him out of this contract. He became a Pro Bowl tight end and he needs more money. What are you pissed off about? Just wondering, man. Team made a great deal with Jonnu Smith. What are you pissed off about? There's a lot of other things you can be pissed off about. Zach Sieler not having a contract, that ain't one, dude. A corner, be pissed off about that if you want. Go ahead. Zach Sieler? How about getting a life and getting laid? Some of you may need that. All right. Anyway. Let's see. Jesse M., Big Johnson, Ragin, Brian Radke, Juan Rosa. Thank God we are here waking to the morning light and hoping to make it through the day. It was rough this week with the celebrities passing left and right. Yeah, man. 4 big ones this week, man. Anthony A., let's see what else. Anthony, you need to tune into yesterday's show. You're like a day late, my brother. But it's there if you want to catch Sean. He talked about it yesterday. Yeah, Lenny, we'll see what happens. But everybody files a grievance against the Raiders, and, that's kind of where they've lived. Finn Rule, Jonathan Jensen. True Finn fan says Wilkins got hurt early in the Raiders' career and hasn't played since. Funny how dumb fans want him back here. It's just, plus if you look at the moves, it doesn't make any sense this year at all to bring him now. Not when you drafted his replacement and his backup. That would be progress stopping, Let's see, Jesse M., the Dean Wayne experience. Kelly Sacco. Kelly Sacco is so damn fine, okay? So the guy's name is Kelly, and then he put Sacco is so damn fine, okay? What else? Josh is in. Raging goes, we need a corner. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. Ty in the Bronx, Skyler, Frankie. What else do we have here? Some of the same characters as always, and appreciate you guys. Denardo Joseph, Carl Kremser. That's a different name there I see on the list. Les Jams, Minka Fitz knows that the local reporters very well. I don't fault him at all for not talking. Look, the whole Minka Fitzpatrick situation, I agree with you. I don't blame him for not talking, But get it over with already, bro. They're going to ask you the stupid flow questions, which has nothing to do with anything that's going on here. Why you left, which has nothing to do with anything going on here. You know what? If you're Minka, you go, hey, guys, I'm here to talk about the Miami Dolphins right now in 2025. I don't care what happened a couple of years ago when I left. Don't bother asking because I'm not going to answer. It's irrelevant to what's going on here. You guys want to ask about me being here and part of the team now? Let's go. Give me the questions. Because I'm really happy to be here. I'm grateful. Obviously, did he have a problem with Chris Greer? No. Did he have a problem with the owner? I guess he didn't complain about getting traded to play for Mike McDaniel or Weaver, right? So he obviously was not the Pittsburgh situation wasn't working out for whatever reason. Okay. So now you just come. But if I'm him, I get it over with already. I understand that he doesn't want to go through all the questions that I really don't care about, to be quiet. Do you care about the whole Flo Minka thing already at this point? Bro, that's water under the bridge. It is dead and gone. But the media needs shit to write about and space to fill. So they're going to want to ask all those silly questions about shit that I don't really give a shit about anymore. Do you really? Do you guys really care about Minka and Flo already at this point? Is that what we really need to hear? No. But if I'm Minka, I would just kill it right there. You know how coaches love to start the press conference with, hey, guys, we're going to talk about the players that are here. Anybody that's not here, I can't talk about. So, there's a guy holding out or there's a disgruntled or whatever. And that's how they kill the press conference there from those kind of questions. If I'm Minka, I'm going to say, hey, guys, I want to talk about the 2025 Dolphins and me coming here from Pittsburgh. That is it. I don't care about what happened years ago when I left Miami to Pittsburgh. It was a different franchise then than it is now, so it has nothing to do with this. We're moving on. I'm not answering any of those questions, so let's move on. And then that's it, and the media can't ask. That's all. And you can have the media PR person come out, and out of all the teams, there's no team that likes to limit you or be more sensitive than the Miami Dolphins as it is. So, let's go. Them and the Canes, by the way. That's all. If you're Minka, just cut it off at the knees. I personally don't care about what happened with Flo, right? Obviously, they didn't get along. They were forced to get rid of him. It's an old story. I don't care anymore. But they're all dying to ask for it, and they're all dying to rewrite history. And it's just, tell us your side of the story. What was it about Flo? Why do you think the franchise is different now than it was when you left? That they're going to do all of those things. I've been at this for 35 years, dude. I know exactly how they think and how they work. And I know how it is nowadays. Terrible. So that would be my suggestion to him. Go out and just cut it off at the knees. Ryan C. Fins fan, hello to you, sir. Let's see. Chinovo. You obviously have not heard the show. You're just tuning in as of late. I'm pissed because of the recurring end-of-the-season collapse. The Dolphins have developed a frustrating pattern of falling apart in December and January after losing crucial games. That's been going on for 40 years, dude. Where have you been? Marino's teams did that, dude. Marino's teams folded like a cheap tent every single time. What are you talking about, bro? You just threw out a lazy complaint or an ignorant complaint? Which one is it? Which one is it, Finch Rule? Was that a lazy or an ignorant complaint? Because all I've known for 40 years is a soft-ass team that chokes in every big moment it's ever been in. And it doesn't matter if it's Jay Fiedler, if it's Dan Marino, if it's Tua Tagovailoa, or if it's Chad Pennington. It's choke city, dude. It's soft city. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You make it sound like it's a new problem or something, like it's only been happening the last couple of years. It's been happening for 4 decades. 4 decades. Every big moment for Marino is an embarrassment. Why? Because his team was weak and soft and choked in every big moment and got handled in every big moment. And they could never win at the line of scrimmage. It's just kind of the way it goes, dude. So, Finn's Rule, welcome to football for nearly half a century for Miami Dolphin fans. Come on, man. It's like something newer. Like, what are we talking about here? I'm glad you just got pissed now. Anyway, too funny. I tell you guys this all the time and joking, but it's kind of serious, actually. You guys are going to miss the hell out of me when I'm gone. You know, I don't plan on leaving for a few more years. But when I do, those of you that have experienced the show, you will miss honesty. You will miss somebody actually calling shit like it is. Did you see what happened now? NFL has bought 10% of ESPN. You're going to get so much objective coverage from ESPN, dude. You know? I mean, that's what this world is turning into. Control the media to control the narrative, and also, you know, if you're in power, try to limit those who might criticize you because you can't handle the criticism. That's what's going on in all levels. And look at what the NFL is doing. It's using its strong arm approach to get the biggest sports entity and put it under its wing and control what comes out. Control the message. I mean, it's not like any national insider ever has a strong opinion on anything. They just break news and that's it. They can't have opinions because they can't piss off any teams or agents or players, or if not, they won't get any of the stories of, hey, I signed this or I got traded and all that, so I can break those little stories and get all excited with myself. But you can't really have an opinion. Notice that. So now your hosts, I mean, it's kind of a joke already because all they do is manufacture crap. But now if the leagues start owning the sports channel, I've told you the story. I've had a program director come up to me and say, we have a relationship with the team. I told you this when I called Whiteside a knucklehead because he left a semi-automatic rifle in the trunk of his car and just walked back into the gun shop and just in broad daylight put a semi-automatic rifle into his car right there in front of a gun shop and walked in. And when he walked out, they stole the gun. And it's like, bro, you're in a gun shop. Keep the gun with you in the gun shop. You're good. You know? And then when you leave, you don't go in broad daylight. Hey, I'm putting a semi-automatic rifle in there, closing it, and I'm going to walk back in. That's like, steal me. So I was calling him a knucklehead because that's what he is. And then the program director calls me. We have a relationship with the Miami Heat, and calling Whiteside a knucklehead. And I was like, that's what he is. He left a semi-automatic rifle. Yeah, but can we phrase it there? No, we can't. And that's fine. Most hosts are going to fold like a cheap 10 and, but that's never been my style. That's who I am. That's who I've been. I'm going to call it like I see it. Oh, he used poor judgment. No, he's a moron. Okay? He's a moron. All right. So I didn't use poor judgment when I got a hot dog from Dairy Queen. Nobody says that. Everybody looks at me and says, "How stupid are you? How can you do that?" And I'm like, "You're right." That's all. Sometimes it's not just poor judgment. You're just stupid. And that was stupid. But they wanted me to, kind of tone it down. And that's not who I am. I'm going to call it like it is. Yeah, Tannehill too. Everybody. The Dolphins are chokers, bro. That's who they've been for 40 years. Chokers. Every big moment, they get their ass handed to them. That's who they are. That's who they've been since the 70s. Carl says, first time listening to the show, the host is hilarious, rips the hell out of his audience. I'm not saying he's wrong. Ray Howdio, say goodbye to the commercial-free line on the Red Zone use. ESPN will add commercials on the Red Zone. Well, I mean, that to me, what you should be more concerned about is that they are now part of the league. And that's sad, dude. You're not going to get anything objective from ESPN anymore. I mean, that's kind of what's happening in media in general, so it's sad, but yeah, dude, it's bad. That's a horrible move. Horrible move. Hey, I expect you to give us another 30 years of sports. I also expect you to live a very long life. I hope I can live a long life. I'd like to see my daughter get married, maybe have a family or something. That would be pretty cool. But I'm not going to give you 30 years of sports. I'm going to try to squeeze maybe, to be quite honest, maybe 5. But I don't think I have much more than that. That's for sure. Maybe 5. I'll give the Dolphins 5 more years and then I'm done. Yeah, something like that. I certainly don't see myself doing this much longer than that, probably. It's just, it gets to a point where, kind of it's 35 years already. 40 might be a good number to kind of round it out, 30 years of radio, 5 years now on the platform. Yeah, it's been quite a bit. Finn's Rule says, I've been listening to you since back in the day when you would argue with Omar on the radio. Yeah, good dude, Omar, man. Good dude. Says some wild-ass shit, but good dude. Definitely. Big O, I wish you well, but I have you for 2 more years. I will enjoy that. Oh, so he's turning down after 2 years. Dolphin Dave is retiring from listening to sports talk radio. I like that. Dolphin Dave already has like an expiring date for sports radio. In 2 years, I'm done. So even if you go 5-0, I'm not watching the next 3. Screw you. Good for you, bro. Good for you. Hope you go off and with your millions and have a blast. Donardo says, I appreciate your honesty, Big O. We're going to embrace it until the Lord calls you home. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sam the Man says, I remember you from 560. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. I remember working in that clown show for a while. That was a very interesting time, I got to say. Yuri Cristofante, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. Says, great job as usual. I appreciate your love, sir. Thank you. It's very nice of you. And remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Let's see. All right. By the way, Manny Navarro will join us at 11 a.m. And we'll talk a little Dolphins with him. Also, Tuesday, we'll be back at Hialeah Casino. All right. We were there yesterday, but we know how it's normally Thursdays. It's been like that for 5 years. We are now switching to Tuesdays. All right. So Tuesdays at 2:00 now, we'll be at Hialeah Park every week. So we'll start that next week, and we'll have a little fun with that. So just in case, if any of you plan on going by there, come on by and join us. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The amazing Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. If your company, corporation, institution, school, whatever it is, looking for custom printing and embroidery, please call our friends at 3A Graphics, 786-618-1443. Chase Stadium tomorrow at 7:15. Inter Miami will host Cincinnati, the number 1 team in the conference. This is a big game for Inter Miami. Messi and Alba did not play in the All-Star game. They got the rest. Let's hope it pays off for them on Saturday at 7:30 at Pitbull Stadium. Miami FC taking on South Georgia. In the NFL, Christian Wilkins is released from the Raiders after signing a 4-year, $110 million deal last year. The team voids the remaining $35.2 million that are guaranteed. Christian Wilkins, by the way, has made $49.7 million in the last year from the Raiders. Last night in WNBA action, the Fever defeated the Aces, that is 80-70 with no Caitlin Clark. And the Miami Dolphins placed Artie Burns on the IR. They waived offensive lineman Teddy Cushi, and they signed offensive lineman Obina Easy. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. True Fin Fan says, I've been working for 32 years. To think I still have 20 to go just gave my stomach an ache. Did you get some Bitcoin? You wouldn't be working for 22 more years if you got some Bitcoin. I think if you would have reached True Fin Fan, since you listen every day for years now, if you would have gotten into Bitcoin a few years back, even when I was talking about it at 16,000, okay, or 20 or 25 or 30, and you end up getting half a Bitcoin, you would not be working 22 years from now. Maybe another 10, 8. That thing would grow so much that, yeah. So I hope you got some Bitcoin as much as you listen to the show. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Julius, thank you, sir. An old supporter of yours. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you immensely. Yater Castro, let's hit the like, people. Please smash the like. It's very important. It's very important you smash the like. All right. You get these weird ass texts from somewhere that you're like, who the hell is this, bro? Some weird ass number that doesn't start with a regular area code. It starts with a plus. I'm like, what the hell is this, dude? You know, weird as hell. By the way, we'll have Manny Navarro here at the top of the hour in about 5 minutes here. Before that, I'd like to talk about something that I saw. I saw Bill Belichick, and I was reading an article, and I found it interesting. And you know what? I'll get Manny's take at the top of the hour on this, because he follows everything, covers the whole conference. And when I'm looking, at least for me, when I see this situation from afar, I just kind of get a feeling that this is going to be a disaster, because Bill Belichick is used to mature professionals. It's hard to get a group of mature teenagers and early 20 guys in college football. And so when asked about his, program, it's a pro program, practice, training, food, schemes, terminology. It's all a pro program. Not to the extent that we did in the NFL. There will be fewer plays, fewer adjustments, but it will be along those lines. There's some things I don't think we'll need at this level and other things that we are based on hash marks and things like that are different. The overtime system, the red area could potentially come up a lot more than in the NFL on a percentage basis. Things like that you just have to take into consideration. But fundamentally, we're going to do as much as we can as a pro system. And that's all well and good. And I'm sure there's a lot of those elements in all the top programs right now as it is. You don't think that when you went to go to play for Saban, he wasn't preparing you for the NFL, and now Kirby's doing the same thing in Georgia? Of course. So certain people, I'm sure if you played for Coach Harbaugh in college, he was probably preparing you also, in a way for the NFL. So this is nothing new to that extent. So I don't think he's going to, create a new wheel or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't great with personnel. He wasn't great with really assessing talent. And after the whole Tom Brady fiasco, it really exposed him in a bad way because he couldn't find another quarterback. There's a lot of talk that Chris Greer's dad was the guy that influenced Belichick into taking Brady late in the draft. To me, I just think this is a disaster in the making. And not because of the Jordan Hudson stuff and all. That just adds another chaotic element to it. But I just think X's and O's wise, he was a man that had trouble communicating with certain men that were immature at the NFL level. That number is going to be much larger in college, plus NIL and all that money that will get to these kids' heads already. And they're going to look at it like, I don't need to listen to this old man. To me, this North Carolina experiment is going to be a flat-out disaster. Okay? Maybe I'm wrong. I'll admit it if I'm wrong. I'll happily admit it if I'm wrong. But I just smell disaster. It just smells like a train wreck is coming, dude. Seriously. It's like somebody switched the lanes and put the other train that was supposed to go on the other track on the wrong one, and we are headed for a collision course for disaster. We'll see. Hour number 2 is next. Manny Navarro kicks it off.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 Integra, $339 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
Right. There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. Manny, I was just talking about this UNC situation. I was reading the article about Belichick and talking about his program. And obviously, you're going to know a hell of a lot more than I will about what's going on there. Dude, I just smell train wreck. You tell me, what are you hearing? What are you smelling?
Yeah, I think people who just assume that because you win Super Bowls with the best, arguably the best quarterback of all time, right, and Tom Brady, that you had a huge role in that. I think what potentially could happen here is with Bill Belichick is this turns into a disaster in North Carolina, and people are saying, yeah, you know what, he really wasn't that good without Tom Brady. His record.
Oh my God, that actually would hurt his reputation if he is not successful. That's a great point, dude. Yes.
Look, 41-55. He was record as a professional coach before Tom Brady took over in New England. We know what he did with Brady. After Brady left, he was 39-28. He's a losing coach without Tom Brady. That's the bottom line. And so, to me, I think people have to realize the college game has changed quite a bit. While, yes, there is money involved and you have general managers, there is no NFL draft. There is no area where you can, just go and pick players and you get to pick first because your team was the worst. You have to be able to have relationships with guys. You have to be able to motivate them in the right ways. And so you're right. I think this has the potential to be disastrous because you're talking about a guy who's 73 years old. And outside of the fact that he won 6 Super Bowl rings with Tom Brady, where's the proof that he can make things work?
Right. That to me is the key there, because I don't see it. I just don't see it. It just, when you look at this situation, I think there was already a disconnect with NFL players.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it just gets worse as you get younger, because he had a trouble. That's what I was talking about before you came on. He had a trouble with immature pro players, dude. Yep. You know how hard that's going to be with young people who are now also, you've got to give them money before they get there, and you're paying your quarterback or whatever hundreds of thousands of dollars or $1 million. Jesus, dude, that kid's not going to listen to you the same way.
And let's not forget, a lot of the people on his staff are NFL guys. Freddie Kitchens is the offensive coordinator. Michael Lombardi spent all those years in the NFL, right? That's his GM. It's a different game. And the one thing I'm seeing is the opposite, which is college coaches are getting out of college and going to the pros because they just don't want to deal with it.
Right.
I have yet to see many examples in the modern day, right, of pro guys coming back down to college and having success.
It's almost like his son better be special, because he's the young guy that has the chance to relate to them. If his son doesn't have it, oh, dude, this is going to be a disaster. And it's going to be a disaster. By the way, BigCheeseMiami.com is the website. And, of course, the restaurant is at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. It's an institution. Make sure you start off every meal with those garlic rolls and that pizza sauce to dip in. It is amazing. Go check out the pasta, the pizza. The pasta is shipped fresh from Italy, and it is cooked fresh daily, baby. All right, Manny, let's get to the questions now, and let's talk a little bit about it. Miami, unfortunately, you talked about it last week about Cooper. They weren't able to land him. Is it like this enormous loss? It's a loss, but they still have a pretty good backfield there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think from a personnel perspective, there are and again, this kid didn't sign with anybody, right? I mean, he could ultimately flip at the last minute and come back into Miami's class. He's a local guy. I think that the reason this is troubling, and I played this out for you a year ago before any of these guys made announcements. The problem for Mario Cristobal is you're not winning at home with the best players in your own backyard. 2 years ago, it was Jeremiah Smith going to Ohio State. Last year, the top 2 players Miami signed in the state were ranked 18th and 20th. It was Josh Moore, the receiver from West Broward, and Bryce Fitzgerald from Columbus. This year, you had 5 players that play high school football in South Florida ranked in the top 60 nationally. 3 of them are going to Texas. 1 of them is going to Georgia, and another one is going to Syracuse. Miami wanted all of those guys. Miami recruited all of those guys. Didn't get any of them. So to me, we talk about where is Mario in the turnaround of Miami's program. That, to me, paints the picture.
Right.
When hometown, when the best players in your own backyard are basically saying, I still want to go away, that means you haven't gotten the program to where it needs to be. You are not competing for championships. You are not elevating the program to where you hoped it would go. And so to me, it's more of a just a telling tale of where Miami is in its comeback under Mario. And I think for all the people who have invested heavily in this program and poured millions into this program in terms of NIL, and they still believe in Mario, and he's doing a good job recruiting. Miami has the number 1 class in the ACC yet again in recruiting. They got the number 11 class in the country. But you ask me, Manny, how's Mario doing on the recruiting trail? I'll be honest, he still hasn't gotten the job done completely because the best players in his own backyard don't want to come here.
Yeah, and we've talked about this. It's the winning part. Once he gets over that hump, then he'll keep those real elite guys. And those elite guys are going to the places where they have a better chance of winning right now, more than what Miami's winning right now. You're getting the guys now that are willing to help you sacrifice to build that, to get to that point. But the guys that you're missing out on are the guys that feel like, I'm the guy that puts you over the top. You're not ready to be over the top. They are. I'm going there. And that's kind of what it is. The money's all the same.
Yeah. And that's the thing people have to understand.
It's really all about winning for Mario. Once he gets over the hump, if he can get to the ACC championship game or win it or get in the playoffs and have deep success, that's when you'll keep these kids, dude.
Yeah, I think what people need to realize is that the money is all the same at this point. Miami, I've told you guys repeatedly, Miami is a top 10 NIL program in the country. They are forking out a ton of money to pay guys to come here. And some of them want to be Hurricanes, and the fact that the money is equal, hey, that's why they choose it. But I think it still tells us a story that you didn't land Jeremiah Smith. You didn't land all these other elite guys this year. It tells you, like you said, they want to go play for championships, and they don't believe that Miami's the place they can do it. And I think as tough as that is for Miami fans to hear, because of all the progress Mario has made, because they did get to 10 wins last season, it's the truth. It's the fact. Swallow it. Deal with it.
That's all right. And that's fine. You got to earn it, dude. And that when you get to the winning, you'll get over the hump. All right, so who's the next next big cheese they're going at?
Well, Cortez Redding, who is a safety out of, I believe, Georgia, is going to be announcing tonight. I think he's got Ole Miss, NC State, Indiana. Those are the other teams that were in it for them. So Miami's hoping to get Redding. Again, I told you guys last week, there's a 2027 commitment, Kenton Dobson out of Miami Northern, who is one of the best players in the city, in South Florida, who is probably going to reclassify and get into the 2026 class. So if Miami doesn't end up landing Redding, I would tell you, don't sweat it. I think as far as an actual personnel body perspective, they have a local guy who wants to come here and be a part of it. So hopefully Cortez Redding picks Miami, but if he doesn't, I think Kenton Dobson is perfectly capable of filling his shoes.
All right. Well, team's pretty much ready to go, bro. We got when's camp starting, and what's the buzz?
Yeah, I think July 31st is what I've been hearing is when practice and stuff is going to start to get back underway. Nothing has officially been announced yet, but that's the rumor, so to speak. I spoke to somebody last week. I've been working on a lot of projects for The Athletic. We're ranking our top 100 transfers at the start of the season. Bruce Feldman and Sam Kahn and I are the three that are doing it. And besides Carson Beck being a guy who they view as a top 100 transfer, I think Xavier Lucas, the cornerback from Wisconsin who transferred in here, Zechariah Poyser from Jacksonville State. Those two guys I think are going to make our top 100 as well. Guys that I've heard nothing but raving compliments abound as far as new additions. I think Lucas will be one of Miami's 3 starting corners. And I think Poyser will be the man in the secondary, 6'2", 200, long, rangy. I was told, reads the quarterback extremely well, does a great job breaking on passes, doesn't gamble, doesn't get beat in coverage very often, if at all. A bigger, better version potentially of Cam Kitchens is the way it's been described to me. And I think one other name for Miami fans to keep in the back of their minds is Muhammad Torre. Let's not forget, Francisco Mauinoa got drafted by the Jets. He was been Miami's starting middle linebacker. the last 2 years. I think Mohamed Torre is a guy who's played a lot of football, was injured last season, didn't play at all, but started 8 games for Rutgers. Well, guess who came from Rutgers? Miami's new defensive coordinator. So who's going to be the Mike back? I think Mohamed Torre is probably a guy to watch out for.
I'm a little confused.
Mm-hmm.
You said your hearing practice starts July 31st. Now, is this like some top secret shit? Is it that they don't know when they set this thing up? Is it like they think they're going to get some advantage by keeping us guessing?
Well, I mean,
they
it's just...
already know what the date is. I'm confused.
Hey, brother, listen. This is the secret world we live in, right? We're not allowed to talk about any of this stuff of when it's happening and when it's going to happen and who's what time, because nobody wants to have practice recorded. They don't want any drones flying overhead. I mean, there's all kinds of. It feels very cloak and daggerish. I feel like I should be a.
Don't they have a damn inside facility that they can just keep everything under wraps here? What's going on here, bro? What's going on?
Yeah, it's the way it is. Miami, I'm sure will make announcements here at some point.
What do they do? Send it by passenger pigeon in the morning. Hey, Manny, we're gonna have practice today, and then you guys all got to rush out.
We'll get an email maybe the night before. That's the way it usually works. We'll get an email the night before. Hey, availability this time. You can watch the first 15 minutes, but then you got to get the hell out. You can watch them spread.
What if you have a trip planned to St. Augustine to visit the family? Damn it!
Yeah, listen, that doesn't matter to them, brother. It's all good. It's all good, man. I'm a national guy now anyway, and I get to Miami when I can, so it's all good.
Secret practice time by the Canes. We're less than a week away, and the beat writer has to say, well, I'm hearing they're going to start on the 31st, but I don't know. It could be October 31st. That's funny, dude. That is funny. All right, what do you got going on in the Athletics so folks can check you out?
Yeah, definitely coming out with the top 100 recruits list. Also coming out with a story on who the most important transfer is for every Power 4 team. So I have spent the last, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks just completely buried in researching every Power 4 team and becoming an expert at that. So again, I've told people I'm still a Miami guy. Live here. We'll cover the Canes. We'll be there for Miami, Notre Dame. But so much of my expertise now is just roster construction and seeing how guys are building it, which I think gives me a really unique perspective, maybe that a lot of other journalists don't have, because they're so focused on their one team, they don't really know how everybody else does it. And I think that's what I'll be able to provide my readers and listeners.
Are we sure that the game against Notre Dame is taking place on that day?
Yes, because TV has announced it. Oh, TV has announced it.
At this point, I don't know. They're keeping like practice under wraps here. They're like, hey, so I'm we might turn on the TV and like, yo, what happened to the Notre Dame game? And they played it yesterday. Like, what happened? I played it yesterday at 4 a.m. They didn't want anybody to know about it. Like, yo, wow, that's funny. That's funny. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and of course, visit our friends at the Big Cheese, BigCheeseMiami.com, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Tell them that Big O sent you. And, of course, subscribe to The Athletic and support Manny Navarro. Manny, have a fantastic weekend, my friend. We will catch up next week. Thank you, sir.
Take care, brother. See you soon.
You got it. There you go. The great Manny Navarro, as always, right here with our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
Hey, don't forget, folks, Hialeah Park, a proud sponsor of our program. And, man, they've been supporting us for over 20 years and been with us every day of our platform for all 5 years. And we love it, just like, of course, Larry Schlossberg here has been with us. Well, they've been with us for 14 years, but every day, all 5 years here on the platform. And we are so grateful. It's the reason why we're here every day. And we appreciate you all out there. And don't forget Hialeah Park, great people, man. They've always got giveaways going on from Bitcoin to gold. Now they're giving away a Corvette. So when you go play the slot machines there, every time you play a slot machine, every time you pull that lever, whatever you want to call it, you're going to get an entry, which is a beautiful thing. So get on down there. Check it out, baby. Check it out at Hialeah Park. And the second floor poker room is outstanding. They've got this Champions Simulcast Center. They've got TVs everywhere, so you can watch any sporting event going on, day, night, weekends. It doesn't matter. Fridays and Saturdays, like tonight, they'll have some DJs out there. You can take your special someone, dance a little bit, enjoy great food. They've got a Vicky's Bakery now there. I just had a little pastelli there when I went yesterday. Go check it out at Hialeah Park, man. Great people, HialeahParkCasino.com. And tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you out there. All right. Corso, what do you got here? Let me see. Hey, Ostradamus, why couldn't Lucy and Desi stay together? Is Walt still frozen underneath Disney World? And did Boogie have to let Ingrid Bergman go with Victor Lazio? Damn, that is... And you're dating yourself like all over the place, by the way. Of course, I just want you to know. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Ingrid, yes. Walt is still frozen from everything I know. And, well, it's hard to stay together with Lucy. She was going to drive you crazy. So, you know. And plus, she always has splaining to do. I don't have time for all the splaining. Enough of the splaining. So, you know, got to drop the splaining. That's the key there. Enough with the splaining. All right, where are we at here with Bitcoin? Are we climbing? Are we 15.2 now? It went all the way down to 14.8, 15.4 now. This is a beautiful little dip, especially for you newbies. By the way, just to give you a little stat, public companies now hold nearly 900,000 Bitcoin. That is up 35% in just one quarter. In just one quarter, it's up 35%. So we're on a pace for them to have 2 million Bitcoins 1 year from now. If they're on this pace, because they're just going to they're going to pick up the pace. It's crazy, dude. The pace that this is on and how it's, I just saw MicroStrategy put out another plan to raise 2.8 billion more to buy more Bitcoin. Like if you don't see what's happening, I can't help you. The richest and most powerful people in the world are playing Pac-Man right now with Bitcoin. And if you have not taken advantage, not that I'm a financial advisor, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying. Let's see. Lenny Pena says, that's a call from Nigeria, Big O. No offense to Nigerians out there, but it's most likely a scam. Yeah, but dude, the Nigerian prince needs help. I think we should help him. You know, Lenny? When the Nigerian prince reaches out, you got to help him, man. Tyon Manny, is it because they don't value some of those players at the price tag they were asking for NIL, and that's why they didn't? No, we explained it already. You win, they will get those players. They're not getting the upper echelon, like the elite of the elite here in South Florida, because they're still going to Ohio State. They're still going to Georgia. They're still going to Alabama. They're going to places that they think they have a better which they do. It's not think. They do have a better chance to win a national championship. And so now they'll still go there until Miami gets in the picture of the national championship, in the picture of the playoffs, winning the ACC, taking the crown from Clemson. That's when you'll see that flip, Tyon. That's when that flip happens. They want to win, dude. The money's all the same. It's just winning. That's the last ingredient that Miami needs. They have the likable coach. They have the program that will spend. They have all the elite stuff in the program now, all the amenities. They got to win. They got to win the big games, dude. The Dolphins give Mike McDaniel a hell of a cornerback. Yep, they did. They did great. Juan says, if I was a live radio host at my age and then adding another 30 years, my forehead would be tapping the camera from falling asleep. Yeah. And at one point, 30 years from now, there's no way I can have this kind of energy. Okay? I mean, most people, even my age, don't have my energy to do this show the way I do it. And by the way, we're like, it's not like these long commercial breaks. It's 8-10 minute segments, and then I'm resting for another 8 minutes, not doing anything. No, it's a hardcore 2 hours, very little break in between. So it requires a lot of energy, which most people can't do, especially at my age. Most people can't do it. I'm approaching 59, man. Most people cannot do it at my age. So 20 years from now, I would be 79. Yeah, I know. I think 5 more, if I can get out 5 more, make it a round out 10 on the platform for me and Sean. That might be pretty good, man. That might be pretty good. I think I would be very blessed to do something like that. But that would put me somewhere in the 63, 64 range. It might be time, man. Might be time. You know? Lucy drank too much. What is it? Vitamigen? Yes. Vitamin Vegemin. Something like that. Vitamiga Vegemin. I don't know. Anyways. One of the reasons the Canes don't win is because Mario is not a good game day coach. That's the knock, Carl. That's always been his knock. Game day is not his thing, and that's what he's got to get over. And last year he made a lot of progress, allowing his offensive coordinator to be himself. If he can, if that defense, see, he's not a defensive coordinator. He's an offensive line coach at heart. So that problem got solved already. The offensive line is for real. They can run the hell out of the ball. They've now produced a good quarterback 2 years in a row. Now first Cam and now this kid. So they're fixed that area. And his conservative ways, he got out of the way of the offensive coordinator. If the defensive coordinator can get the job done, then they've got a shot at actually being pretty good. But he's got to, of course, get it done on game day. That's been the knock on Mario. Unfortunately, dude, this is who he is. Let's see. Fernando says, just got on. What do you think about Raiders cutting Wilkins? Fernando, what do you think about rewinding and going to the beginning of the show? Okay. NorCal, Big O, you got 15 years left and 5 more rings to talk about. Oh, damn. That would be. I would do 15 more years if you're telling me I'm paid for 5 rings. Hell yeah, I'll find a way. I'll find a way.
What happens if it's 10 years of bad and then 5 straight?
If you're guaranteeing me there's 5 at the end of the rainbow, you and I are hanging in there.
All right.
Okay.
So 10 more years of this.
If you can guarantee me that shit, you got to guarantee me that shit. Ain't no guarantees. That's the problem. Oh man. Anyway. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of anything come on out of camp? Nothing major. No injuries. Then it's a great day at camp. I don't really give a shit about people running around in shorts and no pads and the stock up, stock down bullshit. That's just garbage that they've got to write and stuff that they got to fill. That's their editors, because you people like that crap, and it means nothing right now, nothing whatsoever. And it's torturous for the writers because they probably don't even want to say anybody stocked down unless it's really, really bad, because it's hard to really measure somebody right now when there's no pads, But if there's no injuries, to me, that's a beautiful day in Dolphins camp. Okay? Beautiful day is no injuries. Whether they're going to be a good team or not, they'll figure that out. But the injuries, they've got to stay away from, dude. And they don't have a ton of depth. In fact, I don't think they have any depth. So they've got to find a way to, get her done, as they say. Get her done. Ethereum, by the way, is at 36.38. And Bitcoin is at 15,596. So it went to like 14.9, 14.7, and now it's climbed up to 15.6 now. I don't know if it's making a bounce back, but when it does, it'll be vicious and we'll be going over 130,000. Mark my words. The next time we rip, we start ripping towards 130,000. Okay? So get ready, baby. It's coming. It's crazy to think that the Raiders cut Christian Wilkins. Wilkins trying to get free money. Well, I already spoke about all of that at the beginning. You guys can rewind and I explained everything that I'm pretty sure what's going on there. Remember when Jim Mad Dog would make fun of minicamp and running around in underwears or something like that? Yeah. Underwear Olympics. I don't care about them running around in shorts. Farewell and due to Spanish ladies. Farewell and due to ladies of Spain. Now you're singing some Jaws? Yes?
Omar Kelly sends out, the Dolphins will be without starting center Aaron Brewer for a couple weeks.
Yeah. It's soft. It's soft tissue. I saw the press conference.
Okay.
I saw the press conference from Mike McDaniel today. Let's go over some of his comments. He talked about Aaron Brewer. It's a soft tissue. He's not going on the PUP list. So they're keeping him in the mix. And at times he'll do some snapping with Tua and stuff like that to kind of, keep in the rhythm, but no PUP list. So it's not considered a serious injury with Aaron Brewer. Here's a disturbing thing that I saw from the press conference. And again, this is a soft-ass coach. The leaders in the locker room are in charge of enforcing post-practice sprints. Here's my problem with that. When you've won like the Florida Panthers and you've established that you are professionals at the highest level, you will sacrifice and you will do whatever it takes and you produce. You can then go ahead and go police your own locker room. But when you're a team that hasn't accomplished jack shit and you've got just a bunch of rotating captains, right? Because Calais Campbell was a captain, right? And is he here? I'm sorry. Where is he? Oh, he's gone. Oh, so there's a new captain in town. What captains led anything here? Nothing. There are no captains here. It should be the coach. And it's almost like, are you afraid of being a coach or something? Because is it all about positive reinforcement for you? I know I've heard, I've seen him pull stuff aside and talk to the team. And apparently he's done that in the last couple of days or whatever, sloppy practice. Shocker. Players are not allowed to be in charge of jack shit right now because they haven't earned it, bro. You guys need to be the adults in the building, which are the coaches. When players establish themselves and prove that they can win on a consistent basis, not a flukish year, I'm talking about a few years, then I can have my leaders take over. Then we've established a culture. We've established a winning culture. We've established a way of doing things. Gentlemen, you know how we do things now, right? Go ahead. Teach. We're not ready for that. So when I saw that that was his thing, I was like, I'm sorry. You're not at that stage. You're in the infancy stage. You haven't even accomplished anything. These players are not good enough to police themselves. They haven't earned jack shit for you to trust them in that fashion. The Panthers, you can trust. You can trust. Guaranteed. You can't trust the Heat. You can't trust the Dolphins. Give me a break. And then McDaniel was asked about the Tua comment, and I got to say, the goofball kind of came in strong on this one. He says, trust is built through transparency. It's very important to open the air. What you're seeing is direct communication that is real. That's how men can better themselves. And I agree with that. And I agree with that. And I told you yesterday, as I said yesterday, Tua is the only one with balls in that building. He's the only one that's addressed Tyreek the way Tyreek needs to be addressed. Everybody else dances around it. Chubb, company guy. Mike McDaniel, company guy. Chris Greer, company guy. Nobody will say anything ill of the player. And finally, somebody, it can't be just the media and the fans that are pissed off and saying, yo, what's going on with this guy? No, it has to be the people within the building, and starting with the quarterback has to say, no, this shit don't fly. That's it. So I hate to say this, but I agree with McDaniel on this one. So that's what stood out to me in the press conference today when McDaniel addressed the meteors. What else do we have going on? Bernardo says, I trust the Canes to get to the ACC championship game, then the Dolphins win 9 or more games this season. I would agree with that, actually. I would definitely agree with that because the Canes can run the ball and block. So, Kohu wore the orange jersey at practice today. Good for him. He's such a good dude, man. I root for Cater Kohu. I root for him. Yeah, Ray, we all miss Mad Dog. One of a kind, dude. One of a kind. They don't make him like that. Let's see. What else? I thought we were going to get another stoned at the podium when you mentioned McDaniel's comments. No, not yet. No, too soon. Plus, I haven't seen one yet that's worthy of it. Today, he didn't have one that was worthy of it. I'm not going to force it either. You know what I mean? And it may not only be McDaniel, like I told you. Other people ramble. Okay? I was just off the top of my head. You know one I can do it with? Just by remembering Riley's season-ending press conference. There was a crap ton of rambling there. There was a crap ton of rambling there. Starting with the beginning of the press conference. How many of you weren't even born when I first started here? Like, yo, bro, that's not really how you want to open the press conference, by just telling them, oh, you guys aren't old enough to even ask me questions. It's kind of like, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff in that ribbit, bring it back and all that, and how he was confused. That one right there, that's the stoner one right there. That's definitely the stoner. Well, you know what? We should make that one. Little preview. What else? Don Shula used to do the sprints with the players when he coached. Not when he got older. I started late, but if I keep investing in Bitcoin, I should be able to retire in 10 or 15 years. Yeah. When did you start, Devin? If you can give me like the number when you first bought. Okay. Give me that first number. Like, what was it? 50, 40, 70, 80, 90. When was it that you first started? And by the way, I think anybody that gets to 20, 25% of a Bitcoin will have a chance to retire. And I don't know, somebody's been telling you for a while now, get 20 to 25%. 20 to 25% is not, if you think about it, it's right now at 115,000, right? So that means 1% of a Bitcoin is 1,150. So it's not the end of the world. If you like what Devin's talking about, if you dollar cost average and you're putting in every week and all that, and before you know it, you'll have, if you would have done it before, I'm saying now, obviously it's at 115, unless you have the money right in front of you right now to have, $28,000, $30,000, that would be one of the greatest investments you would ever make in your life. Your car is going to depreciate. Anything else you buy is going to depreciate at 28,000. A stereo system, whatever the hell you buy, it's $28,000. It's going to depreciate. Only a house will grow. Everything else, you buy 28,000 of Bitcoin, dude, that's going to be over $1 million easily 10 years from now. So your investment of $30,000 turns into $1 million 10 years from now. It's pretty freaking good, dude. It's pretty freaking good. That's why I tell you guys, if you're a young couple, they're getting married, and you're going to put $10,000, $15,000 down on a house, and then you're going to pay for the house monthly and the insurance. No, dude, go rent a small little apartment, live in the smallest space you can, the cheapest space you can, and all that money, put it on Bitcoin and then put more and let that shit grow, and you'll end up buying your house. Just suck it up for a few years. Live in limited fashion for several years and then watch that shit grow, and then you'll buy your house and you won't owe shit. It's a beautiful thing. If you're a father and you've got 2, 3 kids, 4 kids, and you've got to get them through college and some married or whatever, Bitcoin now, dude. Bitcoin now. It'll pay off more. Put it this way, what you put into the college fund in Florida, which we did that, which, my God, I wish I would have done Bitcoin instead. I would have been retired actually already. I would have done that. Not only would my daughter be able to go to school or whatever, I would have been retired because Bitcoin was so cheap by the time I would have gotten it from the get-go. Oh, man. Anyway, not a financial advisor by any stretch, but this is a chance of a lifetime for many people if they take advantage of it. Let's see what else. Why do I feel like McDaniel eats Lunchables and kid cuisine? Brian Radke, because of this show, I have 75% of a Bitcoin and keep investing weekly. Wow. You're so up now, Brian. Not only do you have 75% of a Bitcoin, but like if you've accumulated that, how up are you by now? You know what I'm saying? What's the percentage you're up now? It's a sick percentage. It's pretty cool, man. When you start doing that, it gets so and the worst part about it, Brian, is that people see the price now and they think they're too late, and they're not, bro. They're not. And they've got all these rich people that are going to pump your bag. Hans and Franz, they wanted to pump you up. Well, BlackRock and Michael Sieler, they're going to pump your bags. A Riley stoned at the podium would be hilarious. Can't wait for that one. I'm telling you, that season-ending press conference, that is the one. I might do it. Thank you, sir. Brought in a number of the beast today for Iron Maiden. Thank you. Also, kind of an Ozzy tribute, you think? I don't know. I mean, my tribute has been that I've been jamming Ozzy in the car the last couple of days. It's just been Ozzy. Not Aussie. Ozzy. Yeah, I've been jamming Ozzy for the last couple of days, dude. You know, it's funny how you die and your sales go through the roof. I'm like, oh, at least you guys are catching up now. Jesus. He's so good, man. And the sad part is that he suffered a lot down the stretch. I think most of us, if we go, we just want to go. I watched my dad suffer and deteriorate as a human being and be a shell of himself. And it was the most depressing thing in the world. And it's got to be the worst for a human being. Look at Bruce Willis now, how he is just mentally deteriorating. And it's just not fair, dude. It's just not fair. Life has a way of just punishing us at times, and it's just brutal, dude. And the worst is when you're punishing people that don't even deserve it, bro. It's just some of those things you can't explain. I know Ozzy wasn't perfect or anything, but nobody wants to go out like that, to where you're just physically, you had an accident, and then the surgery made it even worse. And then you're in constant pain, and it's neck and back, and you can't walk, and oh my God. And there's other things that come with it. He probably was having trouble even going to the bathroom. He probably couldn't even clean himself. And it just becomes so, what's that word that I'm looking for? It just sucks the life out of somebody. Not just literally, I'm just saying everything else. It just takes everything from you, man. All your dignity, everything. It's just sad. It's just sad, dude. And he was going through a rough one. So the only thing is that at least he's no longer in pain. And to that, bless him. And now, he can jam with Randy, hopefully. What else do we have? Started at 20K. Wow. My God, Brian, you're way up. Yes. Nice job by you, sir. Because everything you've bought since has 3, 4 times, 5 times, 6. I mean, it's pretty cool, dude. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm happy for you, man. I'm like I've told you guys, I've done sports talk for 35 years. The most satisfying thing I've ever done. I've broken a shit ton of stories, bro. Whatever. That's not a thing for me anymore. I've done that 100 times. This is once in a lifetime. This happens once in a lifetime, and I am so fortunate. I got to get it early enough 6 years ago, and I am also, I know it's not like, oh, be worried about giving advice, and I'm not giving any advice, bro. I'm just telling you what I see. I tell you all the time, I'm not an expert, but it's worked out, right? It's worked out. And it's worked out for people like Brian and many others that have come up to me and sent me stuff and thanked me and all that, because they did their homework and they dollar cost averaged, and they are in just phenomenal shape, and they get it, and they understand the dips, and they understand when to buy. Like right now is a buying, it went to 123, so it's at 115, so it's giving you those 8,000 right there. So you're going to pick up, what is that, 4.5%, 5% maybe? You're going to pick that up. So there you go. There's your gift. But the problem is it's that person that's waiting for a 50% dip, and that's just not going to happen anymore. There's too much institutional money coming in. I just read, look at all the companies that are investing. It's just multiplying. The people that are buying are not people that are there to sell and turn it over or anything like that. That's you and me. Eventually my daughter will cash in the Bitcoin, because it's not for me. My Bitcoin is her Bitcoin. It's not for me. I'm messing around a little bit with my ETH and Solana and stuff, and those are the ones that I'm going to cash in and have some fun with the wife and pay some bills. But she's the one, she gets all the Bitcoin. 5, 10, 15 years from now, she can do whatever the hell she wants, dude. She has kids. She can take care of the kids, make sure they have a great education, all that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful thing. What else do we have? Big O, you make a great case for a wake instead of a funeral where we celebrate the life and not mourn the death. Exactly. Exactly. It's what we should do. They do that in a lot of cultures where the death is celebrated. You celebrate the person and they have they kind of have a good time about it. Do you think I want to remember how my dad ended his life? It's burned in my mind and it's the worst. Like carrying your dad to the bathroom. Like, I don't, you think I want to think about that? My dad was 6'2", dude. A wall. And I'm carrying him to the bathroom. No, dude. No. Those are things that you don't want to live. You don't want. No. You call my number, bro. Call me and lights out, please. And just sad, man. Let's see. Chris Esco, Big O, I made a mistake and sold my 1.18 BTC. I own 10.75 ETH now instead. I'll be ready at the start of the next cycle. You were the reason I invested. Big thanks. You're still not late on Bitcoin, bro. Bitcoin is not going to have major dips anymore. ETH will have, all altcoins will suffer a major dip down the line. There's no doubt about that, and you got to definitely cash out on your altcoins. But I got to tell you, Chris, you're still not late, my brother. You're still not late. You're going to 15x from here in a few years. I would still invest in some Bitcoin. And when your ETH blows up and you cash out of it some into Bitcoin too, my brother. That's what I would do. Don't give up on the Bitcoin. And, not for nothing, I'm not a financial advisor, but, I've been talking about this now for a while too. I believe in Caspa. And I believe Caspa is going to become the cash. Bitcoin will become the reserve. Caspa will become the cash. So Caspa's another, and you can get it right now at 9-10 cents. It's at a little bit of a dip now. And that's one that's worth just, not a financial advisor, but do your homework, look into it, and you will see the light. Like when you go to the Laser Eye Center of Miami, that's when you will see the light. Dr. Lascano knows how to get it done. 305-443-4733. My mother-in-law, my wife, my daughter, and myself. All of us have been there. Okay? So, telling you, go check out the Laser Eye Center of Miami. Go see Dr. Lascano, MiamiLaserVision.com, and tell him that Big O sent you. Great people out there at the Laser Eye Center of Miami. What else? Thank you, sir, for getting me in to look into it. You got it, Brian. The biggest mistake I've ever made was listening to my Uncle Hector as a kid and becoming a Dolphins fan. Nothing but pain, says True Fin fan. Dolphin Dave says, I bought my house cash 35 years ago in Tampa. Now it would cost you $420,000. All right, there you go, folks. Time to toke. 420. Let's see. I couldn't imagine going to a nursing home the way the people that work at those places treat the patients, right? Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. You don't want to get old that way. You just want to go, bro. Or you want to be with your family at least. You know what I mean? That's what you want to be. At least you want to be with your family. You know? What are you going to do? Let's see. What else you have? What's it called? David Ferronis is going to join us here in a couple of minutes. So we'll talk a little Dolphins with David. Let me do a little music here, change up a little bit before I get to Ferronis and get the Dolphins report. Let's start off with birthdays today. Musicians born on this date. We always love doing that. Thurston Moore with Sonic Youth, born in 1958. Verdine White, bassist with Earth, Wind, and Fire, born in 1951. Mark Clark from Uriah Heep, born in 1950. I had no idea that Uriah Heep had sold over 40 million albums worldwide. I didn't know they sold that much. I like Uriah Heep. I didn't know they were that successful. Jose Chepito Areas, Nicaraguan percussionist, member of Santana from 69 to 77. Jim McCarty, drummer with the Yardbirds, born in 43. And Benny Benjamin, drummer with the Funk Brothers, born in 1925. All right, let's go with famous people born on this day. Remember, if we don't give you the age, that means they have passed away. Okay? All right, here we go. Actor Estelle Getty, born in 1923, one of the Golden Girls. Walter Payton, Sweetness, Hall of Famer, my favorite football player of all time, born in 1954. Marino's my favorite Dolphin, but Walter Payton's my favorite all-time football player, dude. It's he's just one of those guys that I just gravitated to and respected like crazy because he just did everything the right way. It's just I envy those people because I could never. I'm so imperfect, but people like that, how they can be so perfect, it's really amazing. And we lost them at a very young age. Actress Catherine Kelly Lang, born in 61. She's 64. Actor Matt LeBlanc, born in 67. He's 58. Actor D.B. Woodside, born in 69. He's 56. Louise Joy Brown, the first test tube baby, born in 78, 47 today. Forgot about the test tube baby. Damn. Actor Brad Renfro, born in 82. Actor James Lafferty, born in 85. He is 40 today. Actor Meg Donnelly, born in 2000. She is 25. Sean Stanley, do we have wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, sir. Dallas Irvin is 45. Hayes Jameson's 23. Jaguar Yokota turned 64. Jake Something is 36. Michael Judas is 51. Kenzo Suzuki also turns 51. And the great Finn Balor, he turns 44 on July 25th, 2025.
Bro, that RDX, I don't know, what is that, like a dark gold? Man, that shit is beautiful, bro. God. The RDXs are badass cars. All right, let's move over to music history because something always happened in music history on this date. All right. First, we start off in 1925. The first 50,000-watt radio station, WGY, in Schenectady, New York, began transmission. In 1960, Roy Orbison reached number 2 on the U.S. singles charts with Only the Lonely, his first hit. The song was turned down by Everly Brothers and Elvis Presley, so Orbison decided to record the song himself. In 66, the year I was born, the Supremes released You Can't Hurry Love. In 69, Yes released their self-titled debut album, one of the first in the progressive rock genre. In 69, the Seattle Pop Festival took place at the Gold Creek Park in Woodinville, Washington. Acts appeared over 3 days, included Chuck Berry, Tim Buckley, The Byrds, Chicago Transit Authority, Albert Collins, Bo Diddley, The Doors, The Flocks, The Flying Burrito Brothers, Guess Who, It's a Beautiful Day, Led Zeppelin, Santana, Spirit, 10 Years After, Ike and Tina Turner, Vanilla Fudge, Alice Cooper, and the Youngbloods. Can you imagine being there in 69? That'd be amazing. In 1980, on this date, AC/DC released Back in Black, their first album without lead singer Bon Scott, who died 5 months earlier. In 1980, Teddy Pendergrass released his fourth album, TP. It features Love TKO. Great freaking song. In 83 on this date, Metallica released their debut album, Kill 'Em All. 3 months after parting ways with guitarist Dave Mustaine. It features Whiplash and Jump in the Fire. Let's see what else. In 89, after leaving Def Jam, Beastie Boys released their second album, Paul's Boutique, on Capitol Records. The album containing Hey Ladies and Shadrach did not match the sales of Beastie Boys' previous record, License to Ill, and Capitol eventually stopped promoting it. However, its popularity grew, and it since has been recognized as a breakthrough achievement. In 2003, the album was ranked number 156 on Rolling Stone magazine's list of 500 greatest albums of all time. You know, I bought that album, and I jammed it like crazy, and I kept wondering why people were calling it a terrible album in those days. And I'm like, yo, dude, I like this album. And it was weird. And then it took a while for people to appreciate that album, apparently. In 89, Steve Rebel, one of the owners of Studio 54, died of AIDS-related causes at the age of 45. In 2001, Aaliyah gave her final performance singing More Than a Woman on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Exactly 1 month later, she was flying back from a video shoot in the Bahamas when the overloaded plane crashed and exploded on the runway, killing everyone on board. In 2001, the Doors' John Densmore, Bonnie Raitt, and others were arrested in Itasca, Illinois, for demonstrating against a company that would claim to that company which they claim destroys the rainforest. In 2006, Tom Petty released his third solo album, Highway Companion. It featured Saving Grace. And in 2014, Weird Al Yankovic became the first comedy act to hit the top spot for more than 50 years. Mandatory Fun, Yankovic's 14th album and his best-selling since Straight Out of Linwood, which was released in 91, went to number 1 on the U.S. album charts. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. All right. Oh, man. All right, Corso, thank you for the love in the super chat. Remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, even a Chainlink donation. Corso says, Big O, have you ever seen Dazed and Confused? Yeah, the movie, yeah, a long time ago. And I saw Almost Famous also. He sold you to Humble Pie for $50 and a case of beer. What kind of beer? Yeah. Almost Famous is one of those movies that kind of also grows on you too. You know, in a way, because that's kind of a movie that I've seen a lot of people that watch it and they did not like it. And then people over the years kind of have come to appreciate that movie a little bit more. So I see Fields is back practicing, but not playing after the toe injury. Okay. So he's at practice. He was signing stuff. Justin Fields is back at practice Friday, but he did not participate in team or individual drills after being carted off with the dislocated toe. Despite the scare, Fields seems to avoid serious injury. The Jets said Thursday that Fields would not miss significant time and is considered day-to-day. He's expected to be ready for week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then the best part about that was that then they came out with, well, you know, we also want to tell you we have all the confidence in the world in Tyrod Taylor. Come on, bro. You can't even say that with a straight face. You know, I don't have confidence in Justin Fields. You think I'm going to have confidence in Tyrod Taylor? I mean, you know. All right, let's go. Hour number 3 is next, and we started off with the one and only David Ferronis and our Welt and Rheum Miami Dolphins post-practice report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rheum Miami Dolphins report with David Ferronis is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Ferronis.
Is the one and only. Follow him on. Oh, wait a minute. You got it. Oh, there he is, the one and only David Ferronis. Follow him on Twitter at David Ferronis _ as always. He's on top of it. And just want to know, because to me, you know this stock up, stock down, that's some silly stuff. I get it. Most of the editors make you guys do that shit anyways. I know that. But the important for me is injuries. Every day of practice, if you don't get an injury, I call it a great day. So today, did we have a great day?
A great day. Yeah, nothing notable on that. I mean, actually, Dante Trader, I think we didn't see out there, so maybe something he's dealing with. But just as far as an on-field, no serious issues. Again, sometimes these things pop up later on. You find out a guy next practice can't go. Find out what the deal is, but nothing serious, at least where someone went down.
To me, that's really what it's all about, dude. I mean, they're all going to make mistakes and they're going to have moments, good and bad, whatever, but you got to try to get as healthy as possible to the beginning of the season, and that's really the most important. So when I hear you guys come off the field and nobody left, nobody was carted off, nobody limped off, to me, that's a really good day. And then the other, and I had some fun with you on social media, busting balls as always. Zach Sieler addressed the media yesterday, and you and I have talked about this. I mentioned it to you several weeks ago. I asked you, hey, has Sieler complained? No. Is Sieler like holding out? Or no. Is Drew Rosenhaus standing on somewhere demanding it? No. So it's been mostly media created, all this stuff, and he kind of put cold water on it. He looks like he's in a good place where it's at right now. I don't know. Your thoughts?
Well, I would say he's in a good place as far as that. Yes, he's a team guy. He's going to be practicing, but he also understands that he deserves more money than he has been paid as the I forget. Yeah, where he ranks as far as average annual value of his contract. He's outplayed that extension that he signed 2 years ago. Now back-to-back double-digit sack seasons to go with the run support that he's always had. He's done it with Christian Wilkins alongside him. He's done it without him. He's been a team leader, consummate pro. So I think it's more about his approaches of just, hey, I am vying for this contract. He feels confident. It seems that the organization will do right by him. And so that's why he's not putting up any big fuss, and he handles it his own way while understanding that others will do it how they do it, how Christian Wilkins did it a couple of training camps ago, how Jonnu Smith did it. And that's not to say Jonnu Smith is any bad guy or anything.
No, not at all.
Right, not at all. It was just that was how he decided to go about his business. And then he got paid in Pittsburgh. He got paid somewhere else who was willing to give him that money. So, I mean, Zach Sieler, he just handles himself with such integrity. Talked about how he's a man that actually never curses, which was funny. He almost slipped up in saying ass in talking about how Benito Jones, who was wearing the orange jersey, has been working he said and then tail off. And that's how the whole conversation came up. But that's just the kind of guy he is. And, he's strong in his beliefs, and his belief as it comes to the contract situation and how it plays with the team is that he's still got to be out there to practice with his team come training camp.
And I think what, in the media, we have not, I have, but I don't know if you guys have explained this thoroughly enough to fans instead of just, oh, he deserves his money. Oh, this, that. Yeah, we all know that, but the Dolphins have no money. They have no money. And so you have to explain that. And so it does not make any sense to go mortgage the future with Tua when he doesn't know how to take care of himself. You need to maintain flexibility with Tua over the next 2 years so you could get out of the contract if he continues to do stupid shit. If the next 2 years Tua shows you that he plays like he played 2 years ago, then you can start guaranteeing money and you can count on him and all that because he has shown you for 2 years. But for now, you can't. And that's really the only place you can go to find that money that you need for Sieler. So you really aren't going to get cap relief unless you trade Chubb or Tyreek towards the trading deadline or in the offseason. So let's be realistic here. He can bitch and complain all he wants, but it's not going to do any good. And I'm sure that conversation's been had behind the scenes and said, guys, we're going to take care of you, but we can't do it now no matter what. No matter what, we cannot do it because it would be irresponsible for them to give Sieler money by guaranteeing more money to Tua. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't compound a problem. You have to wait its turn. He signed the contract. He's committed. That's his problem, dude. Now you've got to come up with your own, but you can't do anything till the end of the year, trading deadline, whatever it is. Then you can start working on it. That's really the threshold we're waiting for, aren't we?
Well, yeah, you're right. As far as the Tua stuff, I want to maintain flexibility if I'm the Dolphins, and I don't want to mortgage the future by pushing that can down the road. So I know a lot of people have argued for cap space available that route, but you're right, and I wouldn't go that way in order to find it. But you can also, correct me if I'm wrong, structure extensions to save in the short term. While that now, but that's the same sort of scenario as far as now. That's your cap space that comes down the road.
No, but see, you're throwing generalities at my ass here. Who are you going to extend that you feel good enough that?
I'm saying with a Zach Sieler extension, then you can save it in the short term, but putting more of that money in the extension.
Right.
Toward future years, which is what they've done a lot.
Which is you're going to free up the Tyreek money at the end of the year automatically, whether you trade him or at the end of the year you let him go. You're freeing up $30 million, so you'll have Zach Sieler's money easily. And if you trade Chubb at the trading deadline, you'll definitely free up all that money, and you won't have to do all that sacrificing. You can give him a nice fat bonus up front. You can count a lot of it if you want. You can kind of, control that a little bit better. But it's what you just said. If you start spinning it and guaranteeing more money towards the back end, it just creates more cap problems for you. And you're better off just kind of waiting it out here to be. In other words, you made a smart contract. The smart thing as a team is to wait out. Here's the other thing, because I got this yesterday. So a fan goes to me, no, you got to give him the money. What about if he gets injured? And I'm like, yeah, what about if he gets injured? So you're going to kill the team that they gave him the money and then he got injured like Wilkins? So it goes, if you're the Dolphins, you're the only, you're like in the you're in the driver's seat and you're doing the right thing, the most responsible thing for your team. You're not mortgaging, you're waiting. You've got a great contract in place with one of your best players on the team. You have maximized the shit out of this position. And instead, we're almost treating it like, you can rip the team for letting Van Ginkel go, but you can't rip the team for how they're handling all of this because they have handled it the best way possible to help the team.
Oh, yeah. And full circle now, as we have a situation where Christian Wilkins is released from the Raiders, how they handled the defensive tackle position, how they chose to go with Zach Sieler and giving him the money that they did then, which was more than he was making at the time. But now he has very much outplayed the contract. But you really maximize what you got there while passing on Wilkins, and then look at what a mess it has been for the Raiders with Wilkins, the foot injury, and then now the whole dispute over whether to have surgery and him not doing it and the foot not getting better. And now they just ultimately release him. just after 1 year of that huge, it was 4 years, 110 million with the 57 guaranteed, or still left on guarantees. Then that's saying a lot. We always knew back then, like, all right, that's a move the Raiders make. You wanted Wilkins at the time, but at a reasonable number, and I know they made him offers before he bet on himself.
That was a stupid contract the Raiders gave him.
Yeah. So right, we no longer include Wilkins now, and when we talk about that offseason of losing Van Ginkel.
Hold on a second. Well, hold on a second. I don't know. You may want to talk to Joe Shad there, because I saw the tweet this morning, and he goes, perhaps the Dolphins were right, because he goes, I wanted them to tag Wilkins. Perhaps the Dolphins were right in not tagging him. And then I tweeted back to him, my brother, you were wrong and they were right. There is no perhaps here. Are we good on this already? Like, anybody that said to sign by now, if you said to sign or tag Wilkins, you have to admit right now you were wrong, right? Are we clear on that, right? You are not right if you said to re-sign or tag Wilkins, correct?
Yeah. I thought it became very clear when the Raiders came here last November and played, and Wilkins was out. That was kind of like, right, it was like, he's not even here. So, yeah.
No, but let me tell you something. Throughout the offseason, I've still heard people, and they didn't want to pay Wilkins. Well, why should they, bro? He wasn't worth that money. He's not that kind of pass rusher. Half his sacks came against two shitty teams. The 9.5 or 10 sacks that he picked up, half of them came against two shitty teams that he played twice, 4 times. Like, look at the stats. He's not an elite pass rusher. You don't pay him. So there's no perhaps. You know what I mean? So those of us in the media, when we're wrong, we got to say we're wrong. I said the Marlins would lose 100 games this year. Is that going to happen? Is that going to happen, David? No,
not no more. Yeah, right. Yeah, we're looking good now.
Wrong on that. I'm a Chris Greer guy. Am I right or wrong right now? I'm dead ass wrong right now, right? He's not winning. He's not getting it done, correct?
Right. Has not, yeah.
Okay, so we got to admit shit when we're wrong. So when Shad puts out perhaps, there's people here, but, GT, F, OH, Joe Shad, like, come on, bro, let's go. Man up. Your ass was wrong, and admit that you were wrong. And then, let's see if they give Wilkins. Bro, they will give Sieler the money. That's all we do is make fun of them for giving everybody money. so
they're trying to correct it now.
Yeah, they'll give it. They'll give it to them, but give them credit. They got a bargain from the street. They got a bargain in the contract, and now eventually they'll have to give him the money. But that's money that he's earned in the past and going to earn in the future is what you're going to end up giving him, pretty much. Right. So
for Sieler,
with Sieler, it'll be amazing, and I know they will. But their situation, and that's why it's a tough situation they're in right now fiscally, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he seems at peace with because he mentioned the belief that he has in the organization that the team is operating with respect toward what he has earned, frankly. So I think both sides understand that.
I've made a case to you all offseason that the way Chris Greer is handling the offseason, he's safe. He's coming back next year. And he kind of has set up the team in a way that it's not that good. And, he filled the necessary spots, the guards, defensive tackles, all that kind of stuff. But I don't think this team is nearly as good as it was last year or the year before. So I think McDaniel's in a position to fail pretty much so they can move on to Weaver. Well, yesterday, Artie Burns is placed on the IR. And, you sign a guy that wasn't any good years ago when you drafted him in the 6th round and you bring him back. And everybody's clamoring for Rasul Butler and Asante Samuel and all of that. And it's
Rasul Douglas.
Rasul Douglas, whatever. And you lose your Pro Bowl tight end and you bring some retired guy that's a bad rapper in. And he's, by the way, he's in such great shape that he's not ready to practice. And I love the explanation. We got to bring him along slowly. Like, give me a break, dude. What is there slower than there is right now? So it's just kind of weird to me that I don't see any urgency in the front office. But yet, you want urgency in the media, you want urgency from the fans and from the coaching. But when I see all the moves from the front office, I just don't see a front office that is sitting there going, oh, I got to save my coach's job. That's all I'm saying.
No, I mean, that's a fair assessment as far as the offseason, the spending, not restructuring Tua's deal because you need to be prepared for the potential of a reset. They didn't look for the extra cash in that way to then be able to spend more. The highest priced free agent brought in was James Daniels as a guard, and then you made the big addition of Minka Fitzpatrick, but that was out of a couple of losses in trading Jalen Ramsey, which you knew you had to do once that became an untenable situation, along with Jonnu Smith once you decided, and with the same salary cap issues, you weren't going to pay him more or commit long-term off of one season. So, yeah, I mean, that the offseason move certainly indicates such, and Mike McDaniel's challenge is to get more out of a roster that on paper is less.
I've told people, I get it, bro, the nostalgia, all that stuff. I don't think there's a chance that Miami brings Wilkins back this year. Maybe next year as a rotational player, if he's available, or if maybe he wants to be more of a starter, more time. But you just drafted a first-round pick. You just drafted his replacement. His replacement last year was Calais Campbell. This year, it's your first-round pick, and they've got a fifth-round pick. You bring
and a seventh.
And a seventh. You bring Wilkins now, he becomes a progress stopper. And I get it. You bring them. I know you got it flooded in your emails and in DMs probably. Hey, are the Dolphins going to try to bring Wilkins back? I don't think people understand there's a youth movement. They're not going to bring Wilkins back now. Now, I'm not telling you that next year, if there's a favorable deal to bring him back, but they've got limited funds right now. And if they're going to spend it, they're going to spend it on a corner or something. They're not going to spend it on a defensive tackle who may take time away from their young guys that they need to develop and play this year. And by the way, if you bring Wilkins and he starts playing next to Sieler, you're going to be ripping them because Grant isn't going to be playing a lot. And then you're going to be saying, well, wait a minute, why'd you draft Grant if you're playing Wilkins and you brought him back and all that? So it's a no-win situation to bring Wilkins into this specific situation right now. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't do it for. Well, first of all, I wouldn't even know if Wilkins is going to play this season based on what's happening. But I mean, the Raiders just released him. I don't think they're doing that if they have some kind of hope that he's going to come back and be productive at all this year. So, not that I know the medical situation with his injury, but obviously he was still in a boot as of recently. Training camp has started, and we just reached this boiling point in his relationship with the Raiders, where now it's come to an end and they release him. So, I mean, it wouldn't be for anything more than a league minimum contract, and I don't know if Christian Wilkins is trying to do that either. Granted, he's also got this dispute over the guaranteed money in his contract too, so it might depend on whether he gets that or not. But yeah, you're right. That it's not only that, but then also you already moved on with how you've operated this offseason. You don't draft 3 defensive tackles and one in the first round, use your first round pick if you don't have your plan in place for now moving on from Christian Wilkins entirely. So yeah, I'm with you where it's the Kenneth Grant show with Zach Sieler up there. And hey, even Benito Jones was an orange jersey early in practice here.
Right.
So,
you got Benito and you got the 2 young kids on top of. You got more than enough right now, and you cannot bring him into this situation. Now, next year, I don't know where they're at next year. I don't know who's injured, who's healthy, who played well, who didn't. That I can leave it open and say, oh yeah, some
down the road,
yeah, for next year. But even that, if he's healthy, he should find a home somewhere where he'll have starter time. If Grant plays well, you're moving on with Grant and Sieler. You're not going to bring back Wilkins, and especially coming off a foot injury that all of a sudden, he might be out of football for almost 2 years because he got injured early last year, and then he's going to miss most of this year or all of this year. That's a lot of football to miss for a guy like that at this point. So,
and what if he finally decides to give it and have that surgery? Then that's a whole nother lengthy period rehabbing that. So, yeah.
The dude made $49.7 million in the last calendar year. He's a badass. He's a badass. Bro, they paid him $20.5 million in March for a roster bonus. I mean, that's, and at that moment they thought he was healing. So this is, to me, the whole Raider thing is they've always been notoriously cheap. They're not sure if he's going to come back from a tough foot injury. They're not willing to take the chance. So they'd rather try to save the money now and challenge like they've done with so many other people in the past. He learned all of this from his dad. His dad did the same shit to other players and to plenty of coaches where he filed grievances and all kinds of stuff. So this is something new that has gone on in the history of the Raiders, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we'll find out if it's a he said thing. Is it really that his foot can get healthy and he's fine? Did he go get an opinion that the doctor told him, no, you don't need that second surgery? Or did they use this like, no, you need the second surgery as a loophole to get out of this? That's why I'm not gonna even pick on Wilkins on this. I'm gonna lay it all on the Raiders until proven otherwise, because that is their history. I can't trust them. Whereas all I know of Christian Wilkins is he's a quality human being. He works harder than anybody else out there. He's as dedicated to his craft as it gets. So I believe if he was trying to rehab, he's going to do his best to come back and be the best person that he can be and best player. So I trust the guy that I've watched here for many years. Did I agree to pay him the kind of money? No. But that's two different arguments. That's two different discussions.
Yeah.
I would never question the character of Christian Wilkins. That's just me. That's just
yeah. And even as all this was going on, we would ask Chris Greer about Wilkins, and every answer he would start off with some anecdote about how, I had just seen him working out, on his own time, and he was, running outside doing this. He was, I just ran into him. He, he's always working out on his own, so honing in on his craft. So,
dude, you dealt with him. You know the guys that are full of shit. You know the guys that are real pros.
Yeah, he's about ball. Yeah, he's about his ball. Yeah.
You know Christian Wilkins is all of that, dude. All of that, bro. And so I will trust that Christian Wilkins was doing his best. This is just the cheap Raiders. They don't want to take the risk. So they think that going through the lawyers and all that would be the best way of doing this. That's it. That's just.
And now, this will add a chip on the shoulder of Christian Wilkins, I'm sure, for, whenever he does come back down the road.
Yeah, he can't feel too bad. He's got $20 million extra on it, so he didn't even have to get there, and he made $20 million. So God bless him, bro.
He went to Vegas on a quick trip and he came out winning. Not a lot of people can say that. They came out on top when they came back from Vegas.
Big time. All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so Dolphins can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, covering these training camp practices. So actually today I'm going to write about Jalen Phillips. We got to interview him, and another recovery. Interesting. He detailed how the ACL he felt was way easier than coming back from the Achilles. Jonas Avayanaya finally revealed in an interview, which it's information that we have to withhold, even though we see it in practice, but that he's been playing left guard. So now that he has said it, then word is out there. Fans at the first practice that's open on Saturday, I'm sure would have seen it. But yes, that he's been on the left side with Patrick Paul.
They can sue me because I've said he's playing left guard for months now. So whatever. Like really, like that's.
Yeah.
I just had an interview with Manny Navarro. Do you know that they don't know yet exactly the date of practice? Like he goes, well, I think it's the 31st. I'm hearing it's, and I'm like, what do you mean you're hearing it's the 31st? Like the Canes haven't, they'll tell us like a day or two before. And like, what?
That's wild to me.
A secret or something? Like, he goes, yeah, they don't want to like say it exactly because then drones are flying. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh my goodness!
So,
I mean,
like
the things that
is going to be a secret throughout the offseason, and he's going to play left guard when we know Daniels is a right guard. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the things that football coaches like think are a competitive advantage. I know it it baffles me sometimes, but yeah, they are how they are, and they get paranoid about what they think other coaches can draw from a lot of different things. So they have their reasons, I guess. But
All I
yeah,
can
it's
say is
wild
if
to us.
you think that's a good idea, you must be stoned at the podium. That's
Oh,
all I got.
is that your new segments for?
That's the new segment. Yes, it's called "Stoned at the Podium," and we'll get it when people rant.
Oh
And
no!
it may not only be. I mean, McDaniel will be one of the main contributors to it because there's nobody better at ranting just gobbledygook than McDaniel. But there'll be others. I'm thinking I can do a Riley one.
Oh wow!
Yes, his season-ending press conference. There was a lot of gobbledygook there. And so I actually think I can do one with Riles. So we'll have some fun with that. The new segment, Stoned at the Podium. So
Wow.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, follow him on Twitter.
You're bad, Big O. You're bad.
We just gotta have some fun, bro. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
I know.
some fun with it. David Ferronis _ on X. Make sure you follow him there and subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. They do an excellent job. David, as always, much love, my brother. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch up on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Tuesday afternoon.
Excellent.
All right. You got it. There you go. Welton Rayom, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, 954-966-4646. We're in hurricane season, but we have learned it's not just about hurricanes anymore. We could have torrential downpours at any time. A cumulonimbus cloud can climb right over your state and just drop a boatload of water. And then all of a sudden, you've got flooding, you've got roof damage, you see the brown spots. You're like, wait a minute, I got to call the insurance company. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever call the insurance companies. You call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They send their adjusters who work for you. The adjusters for the insurance company work for the insurance company, not for you. They're not looking out for your best interest. But Welton Rayom is. And then they get their adjusters. They overlook everything, the real damage, and then they go after the insurance company. You never have to deal with the insurance company. That is such a huge burden lifted off your shoulders. 954-966-4646, and the consultation's free at Welt and Rayom.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Ferronis. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Right. Thank you all out there. Thanks to Larry Schlossberg out here, as always, getting it done. Thanks, of course, to the great Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, always getting it done. We appreciate all of you that tuned in. Hit the like button, please, before you go out. Get us over 100 there. Check out, you can go to our, right here on our page, and you can get the first edition of Stoned at the Podium all by itself. Sean posted it there on our YouTube page, so you can check it out, share it, and we will have a new one hopefully over the maybe next week sometime. I think I might do the Riley one. I'll look it up and get the Riley one and have a little fun with it, because there's one that really can go, and there'll be others, and we'll have a little fun with that too. All right, we'll see you all on Monday morning, same time, same place, same bat channel.